This next tool is a tool that'll allow you to put your files that you use in your classroom online, and then at that point students can access them or other educators can access them. At the same time, you can get on this same resource and you can look and see what other educators have put on their Scribd accounts so that you can maybe use it in your classroom as well. The tool is called Scribd, S-C-R-I-B-D, and you access it by going to scribd.com. And basically what it is just a file sharing or a file storage system that is online. It is getting bigger and bigger. I've been using it for about 2.5 years, but it is getting to the point now where you can even put your stuff online and make it available for purchase. There are books that are now being put onto Scribd where you can read them on Scribd or you can purchase them on Scribd. But we're going to use it for educational use. We're going to use it as a tool that we can put our files online so that students can access it, or we're going to use it as a method for getting files that we could use in our own classroom. First thing you'll need to do, just like all these other things, is you're going to have to create an account. So you'll get onto Scribd and you can sign up for a free account. It's easy. There's not a lot of information they're asking for. They just want to have a username and a password so that there's a place that you can store your files. Once you create an account, you're just going to log in. You're going to use your username or your email address and password, and you'll be able to log into your account where you will store your files and organize your files for you to use. This is the home screen of your Scribd account. It is actually very easy to use. They've got different tabs that you're going to access, and they're well labeled. So Scribd is going to organize all the documents that you upload. It's also going to organize documents that you like that you are going to access from other people's accounts, and it also provides an opportunity for you to join different groups that might have similar interests so that when new documents come up that are related to that group interest, you can be notified. So it's a great resource for many ways that you can use in the classroom. When I started using Scribd, there were very few other people on Scribd already, so there weren't a lot of files for me to choose from. So I primarily used it only as a place to store my files. This was really convenient because it allowed me to put any file that I created on the internet. It was just online so that I could access it from any computer I wanted. I also used it as a means of providing access to my files for students. So there were certain files that I wanted them to be able to get to where they can then just download it and then they could use it at home. So we're going to start with there. The way you upload and store your files onto Scribd is that you go to the upload function and you're just going to click on choose files. Once you do that, a pop-up screen is going to open up there. It's going to be the regular Internet Explorer navigational tool. You find the file that you want to upload and you just say open, or you double click it, and what that's going to do is it's going to upload it onto the Scribd account. Once you upload it, it's going to want you to organize it somehow. So it's going to want you to give it names so that you can easily identify it. So go ahead and give it a name so you can identify it on your Scribd account. Then you're going to kind of classify it. What type of file is this? You organize it based on the content, follow these categories options for you, you put in a description, and the more information you put in there, the easier this file will be able to be found by somebody who is just searching for something that they can maybe use in their classroom. You don't have to make it easy to find. You don't even have to make it public. If you select Mark Private, then it is a document or a file that only you have access to. If you leave that open for the public to be able to access, then others can get on and they can use that tool in their classroom as well. If you mark it private, you can still have students access it, but you're going to just give them a specific URL address that they will go to get your document, even though you've marked it as private. A private document can be accessed by anybody who you give the URL address to. So you can mark it private, only you and your students can get to it, and other people can't. If it is a good file, go ahead and open it up for public use and share the wealth. This screen here allows you to do a couple things. One, it allows you to send emails to people to indicate that these files are now available to them. Another thing it does is that the blue box here, it will give you a URL address that will provide access to all the files as one big group. So if there's a number of files that are kind of all linked together, that are all for one project or one assignment, you can use this URL link as the link to access all the documents together. Or you can use individual URL addresses to access the files independently. By scrolling down on this page, you will see that each individual document has its own specific URL address. You can copy the URL address to the left, and that'll take you right to the document or the file. If you choose one of them to the right, these are these are codes that you can use to embed into a blog or a website. And then the file that you've got will just be embedded into that website or blog. Once you've finished uploading the files and labeling them and indicating what categories they belong into, they will be stored into My Documents. In the My Documents function, they will just all be listed in order in which they have been uploaded, but you can also organize them, and you can create folders and such, much the way you would organize files on your own laptop, but you can organize them here in similar type of folders. I suggested earlier that Scribd could also serve as a means of getting together with other people and sharing files with others. So what I've did here as an example is I've typed in Shakespeare and I've clicked on the Groups tab, and what it does is it lists all the different groups that are related to Shakespeare. I can now join one of these groups and we could share ideas and share content based on our common interest in Shakespeare, and that would provide us a networking connection to files that relate to Shakespeare. Not a resource that I necessarily use, but other people do and find it very useful. If there isn't a group that is created yet that is related to your interests, you can create your own groups. So if you're interested in AP Psychology for teachers, you can create a group of AP Psychology teachers group, at which point then other AP Psychology teachers could get together and we would all be sharing information. When one of us uploads stuff, we could be notified that it's been uploaded and we can take a look to see what each other is doing. Using that same search function that I did for finding the groups that are of interest to me, I can also find people that are interested in the same things that I'm interested in. By typing in Shakespeare again and then clicking on the People's tab, it will list all the people who have accounts in Scribd who have uploaded things that are related to Shakespeare. I can then see their files and I can post questions to them, or I can send them messages. I can share files with them if I so chose. Maybe most useful is that, again, with that same function, instead of putting the Groups or the People tab, I put the Documents tab, and it will list all the documents that have been posted that are related to Shakespeare or have a Shakespeare tag. I can then thumb through those and find helpful, useful documents that I could utilize for my own classroom use, or that I can adapt for my classroom use because other people have posted these Shakespeare-related documents and made them available for us to access. So that's how you can either upload files to Scribd, or you can look for files and documents into Scribd. The most useful thing is being able to access them and use them. So if you've uploaded something and you want students to be able to access it, you need to be able to have the students get to it and then put it on their own computer so that they can then manipulate the file and then print it out and turn it in. Or this may be the instructions for a project. Or you found something that another teacher used and you want to download it and use it for your own purpose. Once you've found that, either if a student finds it through the URL link that you provided, or you found it through a search like the Shakespeare searches, you will then be taken to the document and it'll look something similar to this. You now have a number of options of what you can do with those documents. The most useful of those is that you will then be able to download it. You can download it in a number of ways. This is also a very convenient way to create PDF files, because if you upload it as a Word document, you can still download it as a PDF file, which would then be available to anybody on any computer who has Adobe Reader. But you can now download it. If you have Microsoft Word, you can download it as a DOC file, and then you can have it on your computer. You can add text, you can change it around. If you're a student, you can then turn it in as an assignment. If it was a file that was from somebody else, you can download it to your computer. You can change it, you can make it fit your needs, and then you can resubmit it and use it in your classroom. So the download function allows you to use it really for your classroom purposes. The greatest advantage of using Scribd is that you don't have lost files. You leave for the summer and you have your computer that you had all your files on that gets re-imaged. All of a sudden you come back to school and all your files that from the previous year are gone. If you've uploaded them to Scribd, they are online and they are backed up and they are available always from any computer. No more lost files for yourself. One of the greatest advantages of Scribd. Access anywhere, never have them lost. Second fantastic benefit of Scribd is that it allows students to be able to find and use your files, as well as you to be able to go out there and find just files and documents that will be beneficial to you. It's really like a treasure hunt. You can find great things on there. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes just going through other people's files gives you ideas on how to better utilize techniques in your own classroom. So Scribd, two advantages. One, all your files are safe and secure in a place that you can access them anywhere. Two, you can connect with other people and find files and documents that you can use in your own classroom for the benefit of your students.